What's going on YouTube? David Rainwater here, continue with the challenge. Today we're going to talk about my man Irv. All right, Irv Pena, better known as Irv Official. Those of us amongst the community, we like to call him the man with the golden glow. In fact, we're jokingly say that we don't know if it's his knowledge and his heart, his soul that does this, or if it maybe he actually was in like a mid-80s, bad guy in movies, because he is definitely the baddest mofo low down around this town when it comes to a few things. There was a period of time in my career when I had done something that for me was extraordinary. It was life-changing, and it was in my business, and it got to the point where it was reinvesting profits was no longer going to take us to the promised land, because stuff happens. We had a proven concept, and it was time to get funding. And you'd think that if, 8.5 years in banking, the remainder of my career in the financial sector, I discovered I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know anything about business financing, and there were some huge problems. So as I did hundreds of hours of research. I mean, going to sleep at 4 or 5 in the morning with, laying on my side, laptop sitting up, just trying to hit video, play to the next video, doing the research for things I found out. It was a lot. So in that process, there was one gentleman that just kept popping up in my feed, and I listened to him, and he was amazing. He gave incredible knowledge. He was different, he was kind of like me, kind of like buddies of mine, but he had nothing to sell you. And his knowledge enabled me to get myself and 22 people I know funding for what he gave away. And when this gentleman popped back up, I attached to him. I owed him. I was grateful. And I got to the honor and the privilege of being part of his community. So the very next day when I got to be part of that, there was a gentleman named Irv Pena, Irv Official. He's just got that golden glow. He did a training, part one of 3 on business funding, talking about banks and different things. Whether you were a novice or an expert, I'll share with you this. I was at Myrtle Beach with my son and his buddies on spring break. They're out there doing their thing. I'm watching this video and listening in, asking questions in 6.5 hours. And he had nothing to sell you afterward. There was no bite, there was nothing. I remember driving to dinner, meeting my son and his buddies, and my business partner, shout out to Mike Ward, he called, "What's going on, man?" I said, "Well, my brain is melted." I said, "Bro, in my entire career and all that time I spent, that 1.5 years of grinding it out to learn, to solve the problems I had to solve, in the last 6.5 hours, I learned more about business financing than I had learned ever." Rubber meets the road stuff. What to use, when to use it, what do you say, who to talk to. And there was something about the guy, man. It's not that just he was a wealth of knowledge, man. He just had a good spirit. And as I listened to him and he went through the classes, he said, "Look, yes, I have a professional service. Yes, I charge a lot of money for it, because yes, I take a personal interest in every single file, just myself." And he said, "Frankly, I just gave you everything. Watch these videos 100 times. Ask me questions. No problem. I'll be here for you." And it made me beg the question, bro, what if I paid you? And I got to tell you, man, just from the business side of the experience, and it's a fairly new relationship. The very first day, he had his own private meeting where 2 incredible, I won't use their name, but 2 heads of the business side of the equation of one of the biggest banks in the United States came and literally, to a group of 10, pitched us on why we would want to use them. And I just said, this is why I wanted to work with you. The amount of time, hours, the relationships, not just the knowledge that I gained by working with Irv, it's invaluable. At least that's what I thought at the time. Now, the business, look, man, I wanted to talk about Irv because recently I discovered that this very successful guy, there's a whole other side to him. He doesn't just do things on how to operate businesses better. He will talk to you about mindset, YouTube. He's got this whole other channel that I knew was there, never paid attention to. Guys, that'll tell you a lot about who this man is. Okay, he's an amazing guy. And I won't bother you with details because you won't care. But in the time that I've spent with him, he has become just as valuable to me as an accountant, as a doctor. I've shared with him personal experiences so that he can do his job better. This is a good guy. It's so rare in business, especially in the financial business. Oh my God, to find somebody who literally gives a crap and does things without asking, puts you ahead of the business, tells you what you don't want to hear because that's his expertise, that's his job. I'll put it to you this way, guys. If you're looking for somebody to help you cut your learning curve for your business, maybe your personal life, if you don't have the right mindset, and most importantly, if you need to have a way to really learn how for the long term to get hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars of funding when you need it, be prepared, and have the relationships with the best of the business at the biggest banks here in the United States, you need to tap into Irv. Just talk to the guy. Watch his videos. Watch what he gives away. You'll be shocked. Because if you're not ready for him, he wouldn't want you anyway. But take advantage of it, man. Most of you here don't know me. I'm sure you got your own experiences. We will talk more about what I've been through just so that you don't make the same mistakes I did. But I can honestly share with you, my man Irv, dude, he's the master. He's the master. He is the man with the golden glow. Check him out. He will help you, and he's a good guy. Anyway, this is David Rainwater. If you like anything, if you want to hear about something, put it in the chat. Like the channel, subscribe it. I've been told that my experiences will help others, so that's what I'm here to do. I hope it helps you. Talk soon.